Hey everyone, this is an example of an assignment that I do as a flipped classroom approach. What I do is I take some material from the Making Connections geography textbook. This is a French immersion class, so it's actually the equivalent textbook in French. We go through a subject that you probably all remember from grade 9 geography, which is landform regions, or régions physiographiques en français. And what I get people to do is to think about one big question while they're working through this assignment. The question is, what criteria go into defining a landform region in Canada? It's not talked about in the textbook. All the textbook does is talks about the landform regions. So the idea here is for students to do a better job than the textbook and to figure out what actually makes up these landform regions that have been created by geographers. So what I ask students to do is to jump onto my website, which you can see is up here. But if you just Google Halsall HHS, it's the first hit. And then I asked them to go into the document that talks about la région physiographique, or landform regions. The whole project is based around the idea of making up une maquette, or a diorama. Some students, the artistic students, love creating a diorama. For the rest of us who aren't typically artists have trouble with that section. The neat part is this assignment is broken up into 4 parts. The diorama itself is just one part, so all students can be successful as long as they get through the four sections. So let's talk about the first section. The first section is I asked them to pick 3 of the landform regions in Canada. They can pick whichever 3 they want. There's some pictures in the textbook that draw some kids to maybe the mountains or to the prairies or various other regions. I leave that totally open to them because we're still focusing around that major question: what defines each landform region? So while they read through the landform regions, they'll see that each region has about 20 characteristics that are specific to that region. I asked them to rank order the 6 most important regions in this graphic organizer. This helps keep their thoughts organized. Now, when they've picked their 6, I asked them to plagiarize the manual. I'm being a bit facetious here when I say plagiarize. I'm actually asking them to do a direct citation, which they'll need to be able to do in grade 11, grade 12. But I asked them to do it here as a plagiarism exercise. I'll get to why I do that in 2 seconds. Once they've plagiarized the textbook, I ask them to now jump into our online virtual environment, Desire to Learn, which is linked to our board. I've forgotten my password. And I get them to log in. Nice, second time's a charm. Into their online environment. We jump into our course. All the courses that I teach either online or blended are listed here, and I get them to jump into, I'm going to show you the example from this semester. Yes, so once we get in there, I get them to go into the Dropbox. Now, I'm going to make it look a little strange for a while because I want to protect the identity of my students, so just give me 2 seconds here. So here I've opened up Internet Explorer to help protect the identity of students. Internet Explorer is at least good for this. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. Anyway, as you can see, behind the smiley face, we have the students' names, which I've blocked. But on the right-hand side of that window, you'll see a report where Desire to Learn has hooked up with Turnitin.com. And here you can see that 79% of this student work is copied directly from a source. In this case, it's our textbook. This is where I tell the students, fantastic job, you have successfully plagiarized the textbook. You have done a direct citation in reality. So fantastic here, except right down here, this student is sitting at 43%. So when we have a direct citation that's only 43% correct, that's where I'd want to go into the work and actually see what went wrong, why we don't have a higher value. So let's do that. Forgive me, I've changed the formatting of the screen just to protect the identity of the student. Now, if you look at this, 38% is this submitted to education, which would be the textbook. And we can see that's great, but look at all this stuff that was not copied directly from the textbook. This is an issue. I need to go back and speak to the student and say, okay, great job plagiarizing this chunk. I need you to go back to this part and see where you went wrong. Why wasn't this seen as something copied directly from the textbook for direct citation purposes? Now that we're back in our Dropbox folders, we can see that was part A, where they did the direct citation or plagiarism. Now part B is where I asked them to do paraphrasing. So I'm just going to cover up the students' names. And here you have it. This is where the students took the direct citation and paraphrased it and put it into their own words. Numbers are much lower using Turnitin.com for these students. This student, this is a different student from the first round. This student is still way up in 71%. I remember this assignment. The student hadn't changed enough of the actual citation into their own words. So students can actually self-correct their mistakes. After about 3 minutes of uploading the document, they'll see that where their paraphrasing / citation is sitting at. Then they can go directly in the document and say, okay, I'm seeing that it's still too high. I need to change this and resubmit it. Unlike our assignments in Blackboard, you can submit as many times as you want in Desire to Learn by default. I'm taking it that in Blackboard that's not a default setting. Chacun a son goût, as they say. Anyway, part C moves into the part where they make their diorama. This part, I'm going to actually show you some video examples of the. Okay, so I took every student's submission and took a picture of them and created an animated GIF, which should be showing up. It turned into a video, sorry. And you can see how some kids have taken those 3 regions that they created and designed landform regions in a diorama. You can see there's varying success. As I said, for the students who really get thrown off by dioramas, the other 3 sections are weighted equally. So if they bomb on this part, they have the other 3 sections to focus on. And same thing for the artists. They get to really create these masterpieces, and they still learn from the other sections. So it's a different flavor of assignment. This is the only one we do in the course, so they have lots of options in the course. Now part D is where I asked the kids to justify where they feel the way that they created their diorama. So they have their 3 regions. I asked them to explain the region and then explain what things they represented in an abstract way, so that it's kind of like a checklist for the students to make sure that they represented at least 3 of the 6 characteristics in each region. Again, I asked them to drop that in the Dropbox. Usually you don't need Turnitin.com for that. I turned it on anyway. Yeah, and then the last part is kind of an exit card for the assignment. I asked them to talk about that enduring question that we talked about, the big question. What actually distinguishes our landform regions? Things like, and we get to answers like climates, rock formations, landforms in each region. The 6 or 7 different characteristics that make up landform regions. And we do that through this assignment. So I thank you for watching. I hope I wasn't too long-winded, but please send me any feedback. I'd love to hear how I could improve this for next time. Again, thank you. Signing off. Bye.